Okay, so first of all, there's no guidelines or specific answers to tell you where you should be studying abroad. But the one question that I would ask you would be, what is your goal for doing exchange? What is the outcome that you want from this exchange? Is it to learn a new language? Is it to travel somewhere? Is it just to live somewhere completely different? Is it the purpose of traveling? Do you want to travel all over Asia? Well, obviously, if you're studying in Hong Kong, you'd be traveling to places like Macau, Beijing to see the Great Wall of China, or Thailand to ride elephants and pet tigers. Or you want to go to Asia because you love the lifestyle, the culture, you're just interested to actually live among Asian people and just to see how it's like. Education. That is one of the main things that I look at before I choose where I want to go study. Which school do you want to attend to? Is there a specific school that you really want to get into? And does that school offer the courses that you need to take in order to graduate? People. Are you trying to find contacts? Reasons such as making a business or finding internship in the future. Don't worry about being surrounded with only Asian people, because as an exchange student you're going to meet people from all around the world, and just by being around other exchange students you're not only going to be learning about Asian culture but also about other people's cultures. So if you're hanging out with German people or Australian people, you're going to be open up to other exchange students' lifestyles and how they interact with people and how they speak and how they think.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite things about coming on exchange. You meet people from everywhere, and they tell you about things about their own country. So like, even though you're in Hong Kong learning about Hong Kong, you're like learning about the whole world.
Yeah. So from my experience living 6 months in Hong Kong, here are my pros and cons about studying abroad in Hong Kong. The lifestyle is very busy, it's overcrowded, and it kind of feels like an Asian version of New York. And the good thing about Hong Kong is that if you're sick of the city life, how it's always busy, always crowded, always time is money, you could just go to somewhere completely different. You can go hiking, you could go camping, you could go somewhere completely different, totally non-city like. You could wake up to sunrise at the beach. I think I could say that the only bad thing about Hong Kong would be how the city is so busy, it's so overcrowded that sometimes the air is polluted. There's a lot of cockroaches. To them, how we see ants, oh it's just ants. Well, to them, cockroaches, oh it's just cockroaches. Another thing that I don't like would be how it's half modern, how there's skyscrapers and buildings being built by the second, but then the other half is half dirty, half old, and I don't know, I just feel like when I'm walking the street it doesn't feel that, even though it's modern, it doesn't feel clean. Food. There is so many places where you can eat.
It's so cheap.
It's cheap,
it's really cheap.
and it's tasty.
It's cheaper to eat out than to actually buy
Is it really?
groceries.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Really?
really expensive to cook by yourself. You can eat street food, and most of the street foods you could find at Mongkok. You could buy bubble tea, milk tea, which is a very traditional Asian drink. You can go eat dim sum or Asian food at a restaurant, or a very traditional thing to do is a
hot pot.
Hot pot.
which is a boiling pot of water.
Hot pot. Hot pot.
Yeah, like a pot
And you
that's
just
boiling
put raw meat
water,
and
and
whatever
then we
food.
have different soup bases. I've never seen so many 7-Elevens in my life.
I know. It's like every block there's a
Seriously.
7-Eleven.
Sometimes two.
So yeah, sometimes too.
Sometimes two.
They have like one on every corner.
You can charge your cell phone.
You can
there.
charge your cell
cell
phone,
phone.
charge your octopus card,
Octopus card,
uh,
beer,
get beer,
alcohol.
and everything else you
You
can
can get street food. You can get
Oh,
street
yeah.
food at the
You get
7-Eleven
dumpling.
too.
You
You
get
could actually-
microwavable food.
You could actually like not sit down, but you could stand there and eat your food.
Yeah.
Because then some of the 7-Elevens have like a little like table for you. Like a
With a
table
little
top for you.
microwave and you just eat your
For you
food.
to eat at, yeah.
7-Elevens. I know this is not really Asian or very Hong Kong, but McDonald's is such a big thing, especially for students, because it's just so cheap, so convenient, and you can order delivery. And it's free of charge. So whenever you're just so lazy, you just call and then you get it delivered to your house. Okay, so the bad thing about food in Hong Kong is that after 2 to 3 months you get really sick of Chinese food and you start to crave for dairy products and Western food. You just want to eat like a big greasy juicy burger, and if you do actually find Western food or you want to buy Western food, all the restaurants and all the grocery stores that have Western food is really expensive. So activities, there is no cons for activities. There is so much to do. You can go shop and walk around in Central, Causeway Bay, or Mongkok. And Mongkok Ladies Market, you can bargain for an even cheaper price. Apart from shopping, you could go to the arcades, or if you're not a fan of arcades, you go play pool, or just hang out at coffee shops and play board games. For people that are 18 and over, alcohol is so cheap, and there is so many places that you can go party. Party life is really amazing in Hong Kong. Transportation. There's so many types of transportation you could take. There's the minibus, the normal bus or the double-decker. There is the taxi, which is really cheap. There's the MTR, which is amazing because the MTR basically covers all of Hong Kong, and what's so cool about it is that each station is like a completely different place. The only bad thing I would say would be communication. It's really hard to ask people for directions because they just either don't know how to speak English well, or they just don't understand what you're saying, especially taxi drivers. Taxi drivers don't know the English street. You must tell them the Chinese street. Summertime is what I dislike the most about Hong Kong. You start to sweat, it's so humid, you're not even moving, you're not even walking, and you start to sweat. And you just feel sticky, it's really uncomfortable. That's the one thing that I hate the most about Hong Kong.
You walk outside for like 5 minutes
and
you're like
sweating
already. And then like you walk into to the inside where it's like AC.
It's like,
and then you feel all sticky and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not comfortable. You take like 5 showers a day.
But the good thing about weather is that after summer is over, it becomes so much more cooler. It's cold.
There's no medium. It's either really hot or really cold.
Yeah, seriously, it's like extremely hot, extremely cold. That's why everyone right now is really sick.
But they have typhoons instead of rain.
They have typhoons.
Yeah. Typhoons are awesome.
So
we had like cancelled class.
It's like a snow day.
Yeah, but
you cancel
typhoon
class,
day.
you cancel work. It's like typhoon day.
So the biggest downfall, this might sound cheesy, but there isn't much I could say that's bad about Hong Kong. But if I had to choose, the most negative thing about doing exchange would be to say goodbye. Because after 6 months, you've adapted to the lifestyle, you've learned to love your life there, and you've met so many people.
I think the people are going to be what I miss the most.
It feels like time passed way too fast, and you have to say goodbye to your closest friends, the people that you've been hanging out with almost every single day for the past 6 months.
Not everyone's going to be together.
Yeah.
Like, even if you say to someone like, see you again, it's like dependent on you flying or them flying, or
Yeah.
it's kind of sad.
When you said that, I was thinking of the encounter statues, and it says like, what are the chances that we meet in this special place or something like that?
My biggest highlight would be how the life of an exchange is super crazy. As an exchange student, you feel so free. You could just do whatever you want because you're in a country where you have no idea what to do. So you're traveling, you're exploring, you're meeting new people. I find as an exchange student, you're always happy. There's always something to do. And you get to live a life where it cannot be described in words. The life is just so surreal because you get to do all this stuff and study at the same time. It's such an eye-opening experience that if you ask me why should you do an exchange, what's the good, what's the bad of doing an exchange in Hong Kong, well, there is no bad. If you have the opportunity of doing an exchange, then why not do it? No matter where you're studying, you're just going to have the time of your life.